Well, hello and welcome to another episode of the Middle Country Public Library podcast. I'm Sal DiVincenzo, and it's a special episode this week. I'm so happy to be joined in the studio by my fabulous colleague, Deborah Hempe, coordinator of outreach here at the library.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Good to be here. And back on the show, because you were on the show before.
Absolutely.
Neil Manzella, Brookhaven Town Councilman for the 3rd District.
Yep.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, the 3rd District includes Selden, Center Reach, Lake Grove, now parts of Ronkonkoma,
Yep.
parts of Farmingville,
Yep.
parts of Port Jeff Station.
Yes.
And what, a sliver of Holtzville?
And a sliver. Yeah, we share. Selden and Center Reach is the main, and Lake Grove is the main.
Okay.
But then my district cuts off at Portion Road.
Okay.
So Ronkonkoma, Farmingville, little bits of Holtzville all get shared between myself, Councilman Foley, and then Councilman Lagercio as well.
Wow, all right.
Yeah.
But you have us.
And we have you,
You have us.
Which is nice, yes.
Which is good, yes. So
2 library districts, that's it.
libraries?
Sachem and Middle
All
Country,
right.
that's it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And a little behind the scenes information, a little background here. Neil used to work here at the library.
Yes, I did for 6 years.
6 years. We knew you.
Funny enough, I left because this was a part-time job for me, and full-time job in life got a little busy, and I just had to take a step away from the part-time job, and lo and behold, this is what it led to, and come back full circle. So it's actually pretty funny.
So really quickly, how did you decide to do this? What was the start off for that?
So I was working in the assessor's office at the Town of Brookhaven.
Oh, okay.
And I loved it there. Like I was ready to stay there until I retired, hope, God willing.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. And when Kevin ran for town clerk, it left a vacancy there. And you have to look for somebody who lives within the district.
Okay.
I lived within the district. I was very happy with Kevin as my council member. And so through my, my affiliation and my extracurricular activities, we'll say, I was approached and they said, listen, we think that you would make a great council member. And I was like, it was never even on my radar. I never thought about it. And they was like, listen, you got time. Don't make a decision right now. Obviously, it's a big decision to make. And so I was talking to my wife. And the main reason why I ended up saying yes and going for it was that I was one of the people who I had a lot of opinions. I always, I had opinions about government. I had opinions about elected officials. And because of that, I said, you know what? If I'm going to sit here and have my own way of thinking about this, why not put it to the test and see if I can make a difference or make a change? And I'm not even saying like to make a change for the better, because I thought Kevin was fantastic. But if I can try to make any kind of changes that just improve on what's already there, how do we make things better? Because through working at the town, listen, there is always room for improvement no matter where you are. There's room to work on efficiency. And I'm like, this is an opportunity for me to put my money where my mouth is and really try to step up and do something like that. And that's what ultimately led to me saying yes and taking a shot. And luckily I won the election and here I am,
Yeah. So it was a special election because he had left.
There was a special election
actually
in
ran
March.
and won.
Yeah. So
Very good.
it was very weird because I ran in March for the special election. A lot of people didn't even know about it, unfortunately. But then I had to go again in November. So it was 2 elections within 8 months, 7 months. It was chaotic. I think it's very chaotic. But it happened, and then here I am. And so that's it.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to have you back on the show.
you.
And the reason why you're here is to talk about a National Night Out, which is coming out.
Yes.
So this episode's coming out on August 1st. So National Night Out is next Tuesday.
August 6th.
August
yeah.
6th.
August 6th. What is National Night Out?
National Night Out is a police-sponsored event. It is across the country. Many police departments get involved with it. And it's basically just the police's community involvement. They come out, we put on a free event for the community to come out, spend some time with the men and women who wear uniform, get to know them a little bit, talk to them, a lot of community outreach. And it's just honestly, it's a national night out just for fun. Okay. Come out, see who you can. A lot of with us here, a ton of the community gets involved. We have 3 of them in Brookhaven. There's going to be one on the North Shore at Fireman's Park. There's going to be one at Holtzville. And there is the one here at the Center Reach Pool Complex. This is the biggest one in the county of Suffolk. The Sheriff's is right behind us. They hold it at Fireman's Park right behind us. Huge events as well.
Okay.
But about 3,000 people, I think, last year, close to 3,000 people. And we're hoping to only grow it. All we want is for these to get bigger and better. We apologize to the neighbors who live around the Center Reach Pool Complex because parking gets wild. They've all been incredibly, though, receptive to it. They like it. Hopefully they come out as well. And it's just a night of fun. Come out and have a good time.
What time does that start?
Starts at 5:30.
5:30. Okay.
5:30. Hold on.
5:30. Yes.
I think it's 5:30. Yes.
5:30 to 8:30.
Yes. 5:30 to 8:30.
Great.
Yep.
Fantastic.
The pool's there. We have, it's over 35 vendors there. We have 3 food trucks. There's a live DJ. The pool will be open. The water slide's going to be open. It's just come out, bring the kids, bring the whole family, bring your friends, bring their families.
Nice.
And it's just an awesome night.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Now, Deborah, we're going to be there. The library's going to be there. What can our patrons expect?
So we have a lot going on. We have the Flashing Fingers, which is our sign language club.
They're going to be there?
They're going to be there. They're going to be performing. They have performed in the past.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's great.
There as well.
Yeah.
So they'll perform a couple of songs. So that's one thing. We also have 3 tents worth of activities going on. We have remote controlled drones that people can
goes over really well.
try out. Yeah. We have the little Ozobots that they can code and use. The kids love those every year. We're bringing Button Maker, and they can make pins or magnets. We're also bringing a little floating boat activity craft.
Okay.
And a nightlight craft. And then, in addition, we always have our table where we have our spinning wheel. They can spin the wheel for a prize. Everyone, children, adults, everyone who's there gets to spin the wheel for a prize. And also at that table, we have information about other library programs and services, upcoming and ongoing.
That's great. That's great. And last year, how'd that go for the library table?
Oh, my God. We're so busy there. Yeah.
Funny enough, at the library table, I always see, some of these things they're such awesome interactive activities. I'll never forget my kids running over to my table because I'm giving out a piece of paper that's just helpful information for the town. I'm running around all the time, so it's boring stuff. My son would grab one of the palm cards, goes over to the library table, and makes a little button with my face on it because it has my picture on it.
That's
so then
cute.
he's running around the whole night with a button with my face on it. I was like,
adorable. What a great
that was the hot. Yeah, that was the hot thing.
Yeah, the button making was super popular last year, so figured bring it back again.
Great, fantastic.
And I forgot also our Teen Advisory Council will be there, and they have some big long games. That will be out for people to play. We got some new blow up, we have a big blow up skee ball.
Oh, nice.
And some other large games that we're bringing.
That's fantastic. Now, are these the games that patrons can take out?
Some of them are the games that patrons can take out. And then we have some additional ones as well.
That's very clever. See, that little marketing going on over there. That's great. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a fun time. And again, it's this upcoming Tuesday, August 6th.
August 6th, 5:30 to 8:30.
At the Center East Pool.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great community event. It really is.
It does sound great. And the police will be there, obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
In full, yep. The police will be there. Last year, we had an awesome helicopter fly over. I'm hoping we'll get that again this year, too.
Okay.
We have the Touch-a-Truck area, too.
There's the whole Touch-a-Truck?
There's a small Touch-a-Truck area as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sounds good. It's a great night, right? I mean, summer, hopefully the weather will be good.
We're hoping.
Right? Yeah. So summertime, come out and interact with your community and see the police department and all these great things in the library. It's fantastic. Now, Neil, there's other things. This is a busy week coming up.
Oh, man.
So what else is coming up?
We started off with National Night Out on Tuesday the 6th. Then you fast forward to Thursday the 8th. There is the second Middle Country Music Festival going on at the Middle Country Athletic Complex.
Okay.
For anybody who was there, it was Foreign Journey, was a Foreigner and Journey cover band that played last week on Thursday. I want to say 1,000 people showed up. It was wild. It's just
amazing.
It's just a free concert going on at the complex. Yeah. It was unreal, the turnout. We were expecting 200 people, 200 maybe 250, a hopeful turnout. The place was mobbed. It was awesome. The concession stand was hammered. They were very, in a good way. They were happy. Everybody just had a great time. I've heard nothing but good reviews about it. 7 to 8:32, short concert. We know people are trying to go to bed still in the area around it, but there is the follow-up on August 8th. Thursday, August 8th is going to be a Santana cover band.
Nice.
We're hoping to have just as big of a turnout again, just as good weather and just as great of a night. Then we follow that up with Saturday the 10th is our Run the Farm event. It's a 10th annual Run the Farm event going on at Bethel Hobbs Farm. We start at Oxhead Elementary. It is a 4-mile run, very hilly.
Oh, wow.
Awesome run. There's normally a massive turnout. It's a big, because most of the races are a 5K. This one's a little bit longer, so it's a little extra challenging. Got a lot of serious runners that come out.
Got that big hill at the end.
Yeah, the big hill at the end, yeah. And we have a little mini street fair set up at the farm afterwards. All the proceeds for it go back to the farm. The farm, they give something like 10,000 pounds of food a year, I think, to those in need. It's unreal.
Amazing.
When you think about the 3rd District, we're talking about Selden, Center Reach, Ronkonkoma. This is not farmland. You go out east, you see farmland, or maybe along the north or south shore. This is in the heart of the district in Center Reach. Is a farm, and it is a successful farm. It is a great farm, and so we want to do everything we can to help them. They're at almost every community event that we have, and so it's going to be just a great night. But again, we're talking about 3 events in 6 days.
Yeah.
So if you ever need something to do, then the week of August,
There's
that first
plenty-
week
This is a good week
Yes,
coming
it is.
up. This is a good week to
Yes,
do all
it
this
is.
great stuff in our community. That's fantastic. Well, this all sounds great. Now, Neil, I can't have you come on the show without maybe getting some insider information on what's going on in our town,
Okay.
in the area. Any interesting things you'd like to let us know about? Maybe
Interesting things.
new developments.
All right. Where do we even start? Because you know what it is? This is always a scary question because there's so many hypothetical developments that I hear about all the
Sure.
time, and I don't like to give information until
Well, what's
it's
definitely
definite.
happening? What's
All right,
definitely
here's
happening
some
that people might
definites.
not know?
Down in Farmville, what we see often, right, is you see fast food chains coming, and it's hard because development's one of the sketchy, not sketchy, but it's one of the tough things to navigate because how do you tell somebody what to devote their money to? What do you want to invest your time and money into? It's what they think is going to be successful. So we're limited in the capacity to that, but we have a local pizzeria in Ronkonkoma that is very successful. They're called Dewey Paisano, and they're looking to expand. So they came to us and said, hey, look, this is what we want to do. We found a location in Farmingville, and what we want to do is try to expand and make it a restaurant more than just a takeout pizzeria as well. And if anybody wants to do any kind of development, come to us before you do any work, because if you hit any issues on the way, it's harder to backtrack to fix it.
Yeah.
They came to us beforehand. What do we have to do? How can we do this the right way? And they're looking to open up in Farmingville and Tiffany Plaza a sit-down Italian restaurant
Nice.
and their pizzeria. So we're very excited for that.
That's nice.
Then we have, everybody's probably seen over in Selden in the Aldi parking lot now, they have like the sewer basins going. Shake Shack is coming. This was already approved by the
okay.
town board.
That's great.
So that's going to be in the Aldi shopping center. We have
What's happening
other
over
definite?
by Independence Plaza? What's going up over there?
Independence Plaza.
Like clearing the
Oh, they
land.
cleared all that. Yes, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A and the dentist.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So what's there? There was the old building, right? It was the old knife store. It looked like a bank.
Yes, yeah,
It was
yeah.
a bank and knife
Place.
store. Yeah, there was another building next to it. They cleared out those buildings. They cleared out some of the trees there, and the Chick-fil-A is going in there, and the dentist next to it. I always forget the name of the dentist. It's a dentist.
like a
though.
dentist?
It's
Okay.
like a popular. It's one of the popular groups
Okay.
that you would know about.
Okay, great.
They're going there, and so that's actually, a lot of times people say, why aren't you using existing buildings? Why aren't you? Technically, that's what this was, right? These were existing buildings, but the amount of time and money to go into changing an existing building to the way that you need a building is sometimes not. It's not as cost effective.
Yeah.
So instead, they can get rid of the building and put a new building in its place. To me, that is using an existing building, right? We're not clearing woodlands. Granted, there was trees there that were taken down, but they're going to be doing a lot of replanting anyway. And so they're building. That's what's going there, and it's all going to be on site. There's not going to be any new entrances from Middle Country Road into there. They're going to use the existing entrances that are there, and most of the traffic should be staying on site at Independence Plaza, which is actually not Independence Plaza. It's the ShopRite Plaza.
ShopRite
yes.
Plaza, and then Independence Plaza, where Checkers used to be. They cleared
Yes.
that out. What's going
So
there?
Checkers is still, funny enough, Checkers is
still
still
there,
there,
yeah.
and I reached out. They had new ownership. They want to renovate and reopen, and every now and then they put up brand new signs.
Yeah.
They took down the old signs, put up brand new signs, and I saw them again there. They were clearing out weeds. So little by little, it looks like they're
Place
making
looks
the
like
moves.
they cleaned like the building itself, right?
Yeah, they're making their way, and the plan, the last that I heard was that they want to renovate and reopen Checkers.
Wow.
Next to it, where the go-kart place was, the plan, it hasn't come before the town board
Okay.
yet. But what they did is they came to the local civic association, and they want to do a car wash there.
Okay.
Full disclosure, car washes, it's not one of the exciting projects that people look for, right? But the way I look at it, this is a 15-year-old property that has been sitting there as an eyesore since I moved here 13 years ago, and it was even longer than that. It's just been sitting there. People get upset. You hear about it with Country Fair over on 112, right? You have the mini golf place there and the go-kart place, the batting cage. The same one over here. People want fun stuff, to reopen for the kids, but a lot of times we find out that the people who are running it, they don't have somebody to pass it on to, or there's not interest in somebody else who wants to take it over. And so when they're ready to retire and move on, the option is either to sell or nothing. That's the only. It's either you're forced to work or you have to sell it, and that's what we saw with the two locations. And so this is going to be. They want to be a car wash.
Okay.
They pitched it at the Civic Association. The concerns are on traffic, right? Because a car wash is a lot of through traffic in and out.
Yeah.
So there's two things that they're looking to do, because this is the first thing I said. I was like, this is a tough location for a car wash.
Yeah.
They want to tie in to the Home Depot shopping center behind them.
Okay.
So that the entrance and
The
people can
entrance would be
stay there. Yeah.
Inside there,
So
yeah.
you want people to be able to drive around. You can now take the parking lot around Home Depot and you can cut through Boyle, over Boyle to ShopRite, take Boyle up, and you don't have to constantly be on and off a Middle Country Road. They listen, they put that right into their site plan, so that's built into their site plan.
Nice.
And then they're exiting. You can't make a left turn out of there and start going east on Middle Country
Definitely
Road.
not.
So the way that we said, look, you got to just change the exit. They're going to be building. They want to build. It's like a pork chop, we call it. It's like where the curb is cut in a certain way that forces the car to turn
Yes.
and only go west when they're leaving.
Okay.
And so little things like that are the best way. But this is their plan so far. I think it went over very well at the Civic Association. But again, they haven't come before the town board yet. So we'll see if anybody shows up to the public hearing for it or not. But their plan is to do a car wash. It is way more than you need on a car wash because the traffic lines on the site is so much that you're going to keep the traffic off of Middle Country Road.
Yeah.
That the cars, that's the idea for any development, is to keep the cars on the site of the development.
Yeah.
And if we can tie in with that cross access, man, that's a home run right there too.
No, absolutely.
And it's just clearing it out, right? Just ripping down everything that was there. It looks a million
So
times
much
better
better.
than it did.
It does.
And
Yeah.
so I'm hopeful of that. It's a beautiful project. I think it really looks nice. Like I said, car wash is not very exciting for me,
Yeah.
but this is somebody looking to spend their money and develop and beautify a piece of property that has not been beautiful in this district, and I'm excited for it. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
That's awesome. So what do most people contact you for? Like, what do
man.
they contact you for? And what is one thing that maybe someone should contact you about and they don't realize that they can contact you about it?
That's
talk
a great
to you
question.
About
So I'll start with the second question: is
Right.
what should people contact
Yeah.
me about? Literally anything. When you talk about government, everybody gets so wrapped up in the high, big federal issues and federal politics. You're never going to contact your president on anything. You're rarely going to contact your congressman on things too. Like, there might be very important issues that you would contact them, but 90% of the issues that anybody runs into are quality of life issues that happen locally. And that's where you're going to contact myself. You're going to contact your legislator, right? Local elected officials. What do we get calls about? Man, every day is different. Every single day we get to the office, it's what's going to happen today. What are going to be the issues? The biggest issues we get, listen, roadways. Roadways we get a lot of calls about that. I do not envy our highway department because there is something like over 3,500 miles of roadway. Wow. I have no idea what goes into the work and the logistics on doing that. So God bless them for that. But that's a big issue. And we constantly are in contact with them. We have a great relationship with them, and we pass issues about that along. If you have issues with your roads, let us know. It's impossible for us to know everything going on across the district that we rely so heavily on people to contact us. And one of the first things that we normally hear, I'm sorry to bother you. Please don't. I want you to contact us. People on social media like, oh, listen, I don't mean to bother. Send me private messages. Do not apologize. That's exactly what we're there for. I'm putting myself out there because I need to know what's happening so that I know where to adjust the focus in order to make everything better for us as much as we can. That's a big one. A lot of it is, sometimes you have disputes about properties, right? If you go past a commercial property and the grass is all overgrown, or you have a neighbor who maybe left a pool, or somebody maybe doesn't live there full time of the year, and then it gets a little neglected, it could lead to issues. You got mosquitoes, you got bugs, maybe you got mice or something. You contact us, and we go through all the different venues that we need to get the help that we need out there. Questions. Mostly it's questions. A lot of people get questions about development, questions about what they can, what they can't do. People call up just for help too. Hey, look, I want to do this. What's the proper steps to take to do this? And then we put them in touch with perhaps somebody in the building department. Look, this person's going to be a good one to help you out. You want to put a second story on your house. You want to build a pool. Here are the proper steps to follow. Parks. People have, hey, even if it's opinions. Hey, look, I think that something like this would be great in a park. Hey, that's a great idea. Let's look into how if it's feasible or not. How can we work that out? One thing that everybody calls about it, like I said, is the parks and it's just about how we can help. And sometimes I might not be thinking of the way to best help. And
Sure.
I need that suggestion from the community as well. So, man, go anything. And even if they call, we get a lot of calls that have nothing to do with us. We get, listen, a lot of calls about Middle Country Road. Middle Country Road is the core of my district, right? That's the core commercial It's a New York State road. The town does not have authority to do work on that road. So if there's potholes, if there's issues on the road, stoplights, we'll put them in touch with the state, or most of the time we get in touch with my colleagues at the state level and say, hey, here's an issue that we're getting calls about. How can we fix this? How can we work on this? It goes to the state. Same thing with like North Ocean Road and Nichols Road. These are county roads. We get in touch with our county counterparts. Hey, here's a question. So a lot of times like that. But if somebody calls us, what I'm never going to do is say, nope, sorry, I got the wrong guy, call somebody else. Yeah. Most of the time, and I hate to say this, but that's why we get calls. Realistically, I don't even want to say this on air, but realistically, most of my job doesn't have to exist if everybody else is doing their work efficiently, right? A lot of times calls get to us because somebody's frustrated. Look, I tried going through this department or this channel or that channel, and I'm getting nowhere, or I get an answer that wasn't right, or I get this. So then they're contacting me and they're frustrated already. And I get that. We get a lot of angry calls. They're not mad at me. They're not mad even at the town, but they're just mad at the situation, and that's fine. I respect that. So we do everything we can. You know what? Look, we're going to reach out on your behalf, and then we get back to the person, and what did we find out? What didn't we find out? I don't always have good answers for people, but I have answers. That's my big thing, is that I always want to provide an answer, whether it's going to make the person happy or not. I want them to know I had an issue and here is the solution. I'm not happy with the solution, but at least I don't have to worry about this anymore. I don't have to question, am I going to get a solution on this anymore? So please call us. I can't stress that enough. Call us, email us, message me on social media, tag me on social media. I don't mind.
Sure.
It's really like the whole purpose of this is to make sure that I'm accessible. Because if I'm not reachable, then what's the point of it all? So.
And for those of our listeners who are listening, what's the telephone number that they can reach?
Sure. It's 451-6647. That's my office number. You're either going to get Thomas or myself picking up. The email, Councilman Manzella at brookhavenny.gov. If you Google Brookhaven Town Council District 3 on the website, it's going to have even a little link that says contact a council member there. And on social media, Councilman Neil A. Manzella. Find me on there. But I try to be on all the Middle Country Moms group, the Sachem Moms, the Farmville community page, any of the big groups that have just a big community out. That's where I want to be. I want to be there, and I'm sitting there. My wife wants to kill me because I'll sit there at night and I'm just scrolling through, trying to read what's going on. Is there anything that I have an answer for that I can help with? And so, that's it.
Well, we appreciate what you do for the town, and we appreciate you coming down to the show once again. And
thank you for having me. Yeah, anytime.
And it's good to see you again. It's weird not having you on Thursday nights. It's good to see you again, though.
It's absolutely.
And that does it for this show. Deborah, thank you so much for coming on and talking about outreach. It's very cool. We'll have you on again. Talk about all that good stuff.
Anytime.
If you want to listen to older episodes or read our show notes, visit our website, mcplpodcast.com. And hey, if you liked what you heard here today or what you saw, subscribe to our channel. We have so many great things coming up on this channel here at the library. So definitely hit the subscribe button and hit the like button if you liked us, and comment below if you have any questions, or if you want to get something out to Neil, if you're in the district number 3.
Please do.
Then we'll pass it on to him. So thank you so much for joining us this week. For Neil Manzella and Deborah Hempe, I'm Sal DiVincenzo. See you on the next show.